number 20.
First place is Tajmir Amir Rama of Bombay.
And fourth is number 19. No absentees, first 24.
Second is Shiloh Passionflower. Third is Elder John's Quicksilver. And fourth is Kabik's Reno Dealer.
Cool Breeze, owner Debbie Davis and Colleen McDowell.
Junior Dogs, 12 to 15 month. Sterling's Fame of Cool Breeze, owned by Debbie Davis and Colleen McDowell.
Crystal Galleon, owner Katrina B. Hodiak. Silky Fox, owner Margaret and Robert Howe. Rough and Ready, owner Janice Rytel. Ninja of the Orient, owner Kay Pearson, V. Wells, and Kay Wheeler.
This is Elias of Prophecy, owned by Nancy Chandre.
We made a mistake. This is the owner Nancy J. Chandra. Seth Tenema, owner Lynn Miller.
Jubilan's Hologram.
Garrett Games.
This is Rafika's In Demand, owned by Sue and Garrett Games.
I told you I passed the house. Yeah, she's over. I thought my child when I was young. And that's what I said to her yesterday. I said, you know, around adults all the time. Maxwell, take my care of them. And I'm showing Cody. Oh, Coco. And I'm showing Stephanie. And you're showing Cody. Yeah. Just because. And then it just. Well, he had to. He was over. He was a teacher. What about his wife? Oh yeah, that's why you watch it. And the blonde. Remember the blonde?
And placements in the 12 to 15 month class are first, Gingala Rough and Ready. Second, Rafika's In Demand. Third is Shabanu's Silky Fox. And fourth is Uchachi Seth Tanima. $15 to 18 month puppy dogs.
The entire class all around the range twice, please. Go back to place where you are.
Zurins, Montana of Nalcar. Owner K. Seville, V. Wilms, and K. Wheeler. The Pace Setter. Owner Garrett and Sue Games. Harris Mooncloud. Owner Pat Kunich. Shiloh Goes to Hollywood. Owner Ivalo Gotzev and Bruce Clark. Just Kidding. Candy Briskowski and Linda Campbell. Messenger's Banana Republic. Owner Linda L. Campbell. Jubilans and Chisis. Owner Jean Pierstein and Judith A. Bloom. Rolls-Royce. Owner Eric Schumacher.
Placements in the 15 to 18 month class. First, Pagara's Mooncloud. Second, Shiloh Goes to Hollywood. Third, Rafika's The Pace Setter. And fourth, Messenger's Banana Republic.
$69 puppy bitches to the holding area.
69 puppy bitches. I want these 69 puppy bitches. I don't have that many of them. 69 puppy bitches.
6 to 9 month puppy bitches.
Oh, Hot Commodity. Owner, Stormhill Kennels. Abriana, owner Toy Munson and John Roger Morton. And Hart, owner Conrad Munson, Toy Munson, and John Morton. Jumpstart, owner Nancy Edgington and Rosemary Sutton. Fidelity of Mahalan. Owner Helen Stein, Lynn Schnozzle, and Bill Mitchell.
Can you let them out whenever it's nice?
Laura Loves Reflection, owner RP and RL Keller.
Actually, great last year, the first out here. It's like the Midwest. It's all flat and it's all plains and you got the mountains.
Friend. Owner Dr. Gary W. France and Connie C. Gunther.
Okay. Would you believe this dog next month's name is because Poison Otto's album? How did they pronounce Otto?
Probably that, yeah.
Abada.
Baccaras Poison Addis Abba, owned by J. Bacchus, M. Hendricks, and B&S
Owner
Pierce.
J. Bacchus and M. Hendricks and B&S Pierce.
Once you go to that corner, go all the way across.
Spirit of Chaco. Owner Abby R. Shaw and Terry D. Chachon.
I'll let her know lunch is available. So.
Bacchus Alouette of Chacon. Owner Abby R. Shaw and Terry Chacon.
Dave and Margaret go, no. David probably hates the Oakland Raiders. Raiders is jealous. And I'm an avid Raider fan. It's so funny, my first dinner was born
Competition styles.
In first place is Safara's Love Reflection. Second is Baccaras Poison Addis Abba. Third is Giroux Aubriana. And fourth is Stormhill Hot Commodity.
Absentees in this class. First, this is 6 to 9 puppy bitches. First, number 124.
Bitches.
Nine to 12 months.
Hill's Romance. Owner Mary and Don Boxdotter and Darlene Anderson. Mischief. Owners Sue and Garrett Gaines and Catherine M. Carr.
Well, why didn't they use your last year's? Oh, you were
Flying on Her Own. Owner Christine C. Hicks.
You know it.
Maybe I'll just ask him.
Give him some more. Give him one on his own. You just bring it to You don't ask, you tell. Set microphone on. Whack.
For Arborcrest. Owner Ben Carter.
Get the film developed.
Going back on the trial.
Owner Dr. and Mrs. A.D. Butterus and Kathy Rogers.
Very smart lady.
Host Tandem. Owner Susie Daft. Flying Colors of Accord. Owners Sharon E. Murphy and Christine C. Hicks. Shiloh Candle in the Wind. Owner Bruce Clark and Steve Fisher. Paradise Bear Essence, owner D&M Wagner.
Sisters like
Well, that's consistent.
One of the other sisters finished earlier, and she's been bred to Osiris.
I ever get rid of the puppies I had.
Junior bitches, 12 to 15 months. To the ready ring, please.
It's funny you said that because when you did it, I was thinking of down the night. The Orlando show with Diane Alders on the loudspeaker. She blows you right out of the saddle.
Who's blocked right there?
And the 9 to 12 class is first, Paradise Bear Essence. Second, Tafara's Flying Victory. Third, Briel's Flying Colors of Accor. And fourth, Annabelle of Arborcrest.
to 15 junior bitches.
Junior bitches, 12 to 15 months.
Legend of Cool Breeze, owner Debbie Davis. owner B&J Richards. Ravi's Passion, owner Helen Dukes. Double Vision, owner Kevin and Barbara Cassidy. Sophie Crane, owner Margaret and Robert Howell.
Don't ask me how to pronounce it. You better start working on that Carrot cha-cha.
About a few now for that one. Rafika's Mistress of the Dark, owner Debbie and Ellis Rouse, and Sue and Garrett Games. Kashera Diza Georgie Girl, owner Jody Coleman, J.R. Dix, DVM, and D.K. Brucecheck. Southwind Miss Demeanor, owner Deborah Hughes. All Hot and Bothered. Owner, Dr. and Mrs. A.D. Butterus. Southern Storm, owner Susan DiNarcio, L. Linda, and L. Fernandez. Glory Runner, owner Joanne Childress. Storm Hills Innuendo, owner Pat and George Patterson, and Storm Hill Kennels. The Errett to Cha-Cha, owner Lynn Miller. Tempo, owner W and M Barnett and C and M Terrell. Storm Hills National Acclaim, owner J. O. Hauser and Storm Hill Kennels.
About one line. Well, because
She's got one more shot. Vertical.
5-7. Third,
Placements in the
1.
12 to 15 month class. First, Casbar Double Vision.
18 months.
Second, Selena's Southern Storm. Third is Kevic's Up Timbo. And fourth is Silverthorn's Glory Runner. 15 to 18 month. This is Sonita's Scarlet Rose, owned by Arlene Bacon.
Belle Annie's Enchantress Mine. Owner Amy H. Durst and Alan L. Durst. Ben Pretty Poison. Owner Sandra Weinrob and Laura Fart.
That's why I only have one in her.
Rafika's in the Fast Lane. Owner Joe and Linda Barger and Sue Gaines. Bucks Windsurfer. Owner Kathleen Korellick. Going in Style. Owner David and Kathy Hesenheim and Sue Gaines.
Chocolate strawberries, sweet, baby syrup.
We'd like to thank everyone for supporting the raffle today. Your treats are out, so thanks.
Intimidation. Owner Erica Schumacher and Eric Schumacher. Graphica's Simple Elegance. Owner Eric S. Schumacher.
But it has to be, each dog has to be or by the
Owner Susan Keenan and Bruce Clark and Stephen Fisher. Sachet Chacon. Owner Terry D. Chacon and Abby R. Shaw.
I don't understand. Oh no, she'd have to own the other dog.
In the spotlight, owner John P. Cabral, Sharon C. Cabral, and Patricia Jones.
And now we're at in Bellevue but where they have it is like in a no, I'm just gonna have a lake here, I'm gonna have all these grounds,
Dave is impressive.
Baptism under fire. First place in this package.
31, 30, 124, 138, and 147.
And placements are first, Shiloh Sustanuto. Second, Sonido's Scarlet Rose. Third, Bellamy's Enchantress Mine. And fourth is Rafika's Simple Elegance.
163.
This is Best in Sweepstakes. They're lined up with a 15 to 18-month dog, followed by the 15 to 18-month bitch. 15 to 18-month dog is Hagara's Mooncloud, followed by Shiloh Sustanuto.
Hagara's Mooncloud.
12 to 18-month dog, 12 to 15-month dog is Gingala Rough and Ready. 12 to 15-month bitch is Casbar Double Vision. 9 to 12 puppy dog,
Tenuto.
Tajmir Amir
Bruce Clark.
Ron of
Stephen
Bombay. 9 to 12 puppy bitch is Paradise Bear Essence. 6 to 9 puppy dog is Chacon's You Betcha of Abaca. And 6 to 9 puppy bitch is Safar Loves Reflection. And Best in Sweepstakes at the 53rd National Specialty Show, the Afghan Hound Club of America, is the 12 to 15-month bitch, Casbar Double Vision, owned by Kevin and Barbara Cassidy. The 6 to 9 puppy dog, Chacon's You Betcha of Abaca, owned by Terry Chacon and Abby Shaw, was Best of Opposite Sex
Number 1,
to Best in Sweepstakes.
Best in Sweeps. Number 10, Best of Opposite.
Hound Club, held Thursday, July 13th, 1989, in conjunction with the Afghan Hound Club of America National Specialty Shows at the John Q. Hammond Center in Portland, Oregon. We have a lovely trophy table here. And we start with the puppy dogs, 6 months and under 9 months. And our judge is Kent Delaney. First dog that we see here is Shiloh Off Top Nashast Alfora, bred by Bruce Clark and Stephen Fisher, by champion Shiloh Eat Your Heart Out, and champion Shiloh Babe in the Woods, owned by James and Joanne Alford, B. Clark, and S. Fisher.
Walkabout Mick. Bred by Jim and Connie Gunther, by champion Genesis BT Express of Connie, and champion Quebec's Prairie Contessa, owned by Jim and Connie Gunther. Chacon's You Betcha of Abaca, bred by Terry Chacon and Abby Shaw, by champion Shiloh Marquis Malachite, and champion Chacon Solo Cookies and Cream, owned by Terry Chacon and Abby Shaw. Sura's Special Effects, bred by S. Neal, J. Rattel, and J&J Smith, by champion Sura's Spellbinder, and champion Tafara Jeanette's Spicy Abu, owned by Suzanne Neal.
Nine to 12 puppy dogs. The ready ring one, please.
And placings in the class are first, Sura's Special Effects, second, Chacon's You Betcha of Abaca, third, Prairie's Walkabout Mick, and fourth, Shiloh Off Top Nashast Alfora. Puppy dogs, 9 to 12 months. Perfection's Ode to Paradise, bred by D&M Wagner and D. Pearson and E. Johnson, by champion Jubilance O'Sear, and Perfection's Lucky Penny, owned by Debbie Peterson. Kulana's Victory Envoy, bred by Darlene Anderson and Janice Rattel, by champion Renwick's Special Envoy, and champion Tafara's Sweet Victory, owned by Darlene Anderson. Briel's Flying Solo, bred by Christine Hicks, by champion Shiloh Sebastian of Patmar, and Briel's Betsy Boop, owned by Christine Hicks. Tomba Crew Touch and Go, bred by Vaughn Keene, by champion Shiloh Sebastian of Patmar, and Tajine's Triste Timbuktu, owned by Vaughn Keene. Reficus It Takes a Thief, bred by Sue and Garrett Games, by champion Reficus Thief of Hearts, and Reficus Susudio, owned by Garrett and Sue Games. Elder John's Quicksilver, bred by Debbie Rawls and Kathy Searles, by champion Coastwind Jubilant Osiris, and Califana's Blue Horizon, owned by Debbie and Ellis Rawls. On the Mark, Delora, bred by D&M Wagner, E. Johnson, and D. Peterson, by champion Jubilant Osier, and Perfection's Lucky Penny, owned by Val Hiller and D&M Wagner.
Yeah. But it's just easier to come. It's not
Shiloh Passion Flower, bred by S. Fisher, B. Clark, by champion Shiloh Sebastian of Patmar, and Shiloh New Moon on Monday, owned by Shigeo Kuwahara.
To 18 junior dogs to the ready ring of ring 1, please. 12 to 18 junior dogs. Stand by at the sweepstakes ring number 2, please.
Placings in the 9 to 12 puppy dog class are first, Rafika's It Takes a Thief. Second, Shiloh Passion Flower. Third is Timbuktu Touch and Go. And fourth, Kulana's Victory Envoy.
18-month puppy dogs.
Junior dogs, 12 to 18 months. First dog is Messenger's Just Kid, bred by Linda Campbell and Kay Carpenter, by champion Cameron's Black and Tan Rebellion and Malachi's Copper Penning, owned by Candy Rizowski and Linda Campbell. Tajine's Jack Horner, bred by John Williams and Eugene Gridnor, and K&K Martin, by champion Tajine's Warlock, and champion Tajine's Little Miss Muffet, owned by J. Williams, E. Ridnour, and K&K Martin. Elias of Prophecy, bred by Nancy Chandre and Sue Jackson, by Cartier Cavendish of Bonanza and Krista Diora, owned by Nancy Chandre. Zura's Ninja of the Orient, bred by Viola Wilms and Christy Wheeler, by champion Zura's Grand Finale, and Zura's Flying Colors, owned by Kay Pearson, V. Wilms, and Kay Wheeler. Sterling's Fame of Cool Breeze, bred by Colleen McDowell, C. Terrell, and M. Terrell, by champion Quebecs up front, and champion Quebecs Image of Sterling, owned by Deborah Davis and Colleen McDowell. Zuron's Montana of Nilakar, bred by V. Wilms and Kay Wheeler, by champion Zuron's Grand Finale and champion Ultra Classic, owned by Kay Seville, V. Wilms, and Kay Wheeler. Gingala Rough and Ready, bred by M.L. Hickey, by Peerweld Rough and Tough, and Kilzarki Zelangor, owned by Janice Rattal. Shabanoo's Silky Fox, bred by Margaret Howell, by champion Fox Runs Phoenix, and Griffon Maddie Silks, owned by Margaret and Robert Howell. Messenger's Banana Republic, bred by Linda Campbell and Kay Carpenter, by champion Cameron's Black and Tan Rebellion, and Malachi's Copper Penny, owned by Linda Campbell. Quebec's Reno Dealer, bred by C&M Terrell, by champion Quebec's the front runner, and champion Quebec's Donita, owned by Mr. and Mrs. William Clott and C&M Terrell.
Right. Getting easier.
Rafika's In Demand, bred by Sue and Garrett Games and Kelly Mills, by champion Rafika's Thief of Heart, and Rafika's This Is It, owned by Sue and Garrett Games. Jubilons Anchasis, bred by Judith Bloom and Allison Gray, by champion Theons Zitos and champion Jubilons Olivia, owned by Jean Pierstein and Jay Bloom. Graphicus Pace Setter, bred by Sue and Garrett Games and Eric Schumacher, by champion Quebec's the front runner and champion Graphicus Ginger Snap, owned by Sue and Garrett Games. Pagara's Moon Cloud, bred by Pat Koenig, by champion Genesis Red Cloud and champion Pagara's Mystic Elegance, owned by Pat Koenig. Shallow Goes to Hollywood, bred by B. Clark and S. Fisher, by champion of Shallow's Marquis Malachite and champion Shallow's Babe in the Woods, owned by Ivy Lowe Gozev and Bruce Clark.
We can go here, or they go back, put them on the table, and
Sura's Fatal Attraction, bred by Suzanne Neal, by champion Camry's Black and Tan Rebellion and champion Sura's Sidewalk Sunday, owned by Suzanne Neal. Tarina Lights of Odessa, bred by Pat Jones, by champion Tarina Arctic Lights and champion Tarina Arctic Dove, owned by Pat Jones and Heather Simmons. Uchati Seth Tanima, bred by Lynn Miller, by champion Jeharan's Accent of Kumar and champion Seven Veils the Enchantress CDX, owned by Lynn Miller.
I'll get in trouble. You know, when you get to that, oh, that's lovely. Upside down, I've never.
Stakes judging.
Puppy bitches, please stand by at sweepstakes ring 2, 12 to 18 puppy bitches.
First place goes to Gingala Rough and Ready. Second, Bagara's Moon Cloud. Third, Sura's Fatal Attraction. And fourth, Kabik's Reno Dealer.
Bred by Exhibitor Dogs.
Bred by Exhibitor Dogs. Kinalari's Noble Prize, bred by A.M. Kinniston and M. Terrell, by Champion Kabik's the front runner, and Champion Kabik's Shataha, owned by A&M and D.C. Kinniston. Our judge now is Pauline Hewitt. Solbaken's State of Shock, bred by Shelley and Richard Bagenstos, by Giroux Solbaken Heartbeat, and Solbaken's Barbella, owned by Shelley and Richard Bagenstos. Chaparral Tristan CDTT, bred by Shelley Hennessy, by Champion Scarabet Magic Maverick, and Chaparral Sierra CD, owned by Shelley Hennessy. Somerset's Hellfire, bred by C. Wadsworth, S. Keever, and H. Nave and El Guerrero, by Champion Genesis BT Express of Connie, and Champion Genesis Foxfire, owned by Donathan and Mary Boxstatler. Dakasha's Midnight Obsession, bred by Kathy Lorson, T. Sala, and Floyd Gale, by Dakasha's Omar Shadow Dancer, and Champion at Beach Books, Carmel of Zuvenda, owned by Kathy Lawrenson. Mad Max of My Way, bred by David Giordano and Alarican, by Alarican's Kimbalan and Alarican's Chloe of Zenith, owned by D. Giordano and Alarican. Messenger's Top Gun, bred by Linda Campbell, by Blue Max III, and Shushala's Christiana, owned by Linda Campbell. Jack, bred by Connie Gunther and Chris Terrell, by Champion Camry's Black and Tan Rebellion, and Champion Kabik's Perry Contessa, owned by Connie and Jim Gunther. Charlemagne, Noble Statesman, bred by Barbara and Robert Wayne, by champion Elmos Tutankhamun and champion Charlemagne Arriva Anti-Main, owned by Barbara and Robert Wayne and Ken Tipple.
For the dinner tickets, they'll be on sale for 5 more minutes. If you have your tickets reserved, please pick them up over at the catalog table. Last call for dinner tickets.
Gandalf's Toasted Almond, bred by Gloria O'Connell, by champion Sanahu's Double Agent and West Wind Secret of Gandalf, owned by Gloria O'Connell. Beaks Face to Face, bred by C&M Terrell, by champion Camry's Black and Tan Rebellion and champion Quebec Donita, owned by C&M Terrell. Samar Wasaka of Zangal, bred by Stuart Aylor and Arthur Ladd and D&T Woodside, by champion Tajine's Indiana Jones and champion Samar Jezebel, owned by Stuart Aylor, Arthur Ladd, and T&D Woodside. Rafika's Heart to Heart, bred by Sue and Garen Games and Deborah Wiley, by Rafika's Thief of Hearts and Dadekas Tasha, owned by Garrett and Sue Games. Elder John's Excalibur, bred by Debbie Rawls and Jan Pretty, by Volant Shim Shan and Volant Horizon, owned by Ellis and Debbie Rawls. Easy on the Eyes, bred by Kathy Searles, by champion Camry's Black and Tan Rebellion, and California's Dadeca Bonus, owned by Kathy Searles. Double-Crossed Sanala, bred by Leslie Greer and Sandra Wayne Robb, by champion Sanala's Double Agent and champion Sanala's Sugar Dust, owned by Leslie Greer and Sandra Wayne Robb. Rafika's Rolls Royce, bred by Eric Schumacher and Garrett and Sue Games, by champion Quebec's the Front Runner and champion Rafika's Ginger Snap, owned by Eric Schumacher. Cavoo's Rebel Rouser, led by G. Kramer and B. Huffnagel by champion Camry's Black and Tan Rebellion, and Cavoo's Firefly, owned by G. Kramer and B. Huffnagel. Rafika's High Stakes, bred by Sue and Garrett Games, by champion Camry's Black and Tan Rebellion, and Calipani's Centerfold, owned by Mary King and Sue Games. Safara the Great White, bred by R&R Keller, by champion Safara Springs Legacy, and champion Safara Love's Illusion, owned by R&R Keller.
Ladies and gentlemen, the snack bar is open and now... Clean up in the ring, please. Clean up in the ring, please.
And first place goes to Califani, Easy on the Eyes. Second, Messenger's Top Gun. Third, Charlemagne, Noble Statesman. And fourth, Rafika's Heart to Heart. American Bred Dogs.
American Bred Dogs.
Winston's Junior of Talisman, bred by Rin and Kieran Karsner and Cindy Winter, by Winston's Shahzada and Regency's Blue Bonnet, owned by Rose Upper and C.K. Winter. Dance, bred by Melanie Bryan, by Champion Theon's Voice of Karzak, and Champion Kokina's Silver Lining, owned by Steve and Jackie Crandall. This is Kabik's Stormfront, bred by C&M Terrell, by Champion Kabik's the Frontrunner, and Champion and Kabik's Calico, owned by Gary and Diane Kresovic and Chris Terrell.
Weed killer. So just be aware of that fact.
And the American Bred Dog placements are first, Kabik's Stormfront, second, Kokina Cloud Dance, and third, Winston's JR of Talisman.
The American Bred Dog winners are first place, number 64, second place, number 63, and third place, number 62.
Open Dogs. Applause Ladies Man, bred by S. Motts and P. Jindelsberger, by Champion Gazon Lady Killer, and Applause Affair to Remember, owned by J. Howe and S. Motts. Kahara's Incantation, bred by Debbie Thurston and Marguerite Terrell, by Champion Kabik's Infatuation and Champion Kabik's Innovation, owned by Debbie Thurston. Tajine's Baroque, bred by John Williams and Eugene Ridenour, by Champion Zuvenda Ricochet and Champion Tajine's Witchcraft, owned by John Williams and Eugene Ridenour. Soulback and Heartbeat, bred by John Morton, by champion Giroux's Tar Devil and champion Giroux's Sweetheart, owned by Richard and Shelley Bagenstos. Cherrier's Sky High Perfection, bred by J. Wood, J. Elliott, and D. Kroll, by champion Seaside Encore of Storm Hill, and Zeron's Desert Song of Cherrier, owned by Debbie Peterson. Dolores Wild Woodsman, bred by Valerie Hiller, by champion DeJean's Tough Man and Moon Dune Sweet Lady Lahora, owned by Eric Johnson and Val Hiller. Summer Wind Oriah Double Exposure, bred by Claudia Jekus and Bruce and Rosemary Sutton, by champion Ariats Athlete and champion Summer Wind Poetry in Motion, owned by Dr. and Mrs. Buttress and Claudia Jekus. Carricker Night Bandit, bred by Georgiana Guthrie, by champion Carricker A Different Drummer, and champion Carricker Sochi of Revere, owned by Georgiana Guthrie. Soulbackins Off the Wall, bred by Shelley and Richard Bagenstos, by Giroux's Soulback and Heartbeat, and Soulbackins Barbella, owned by Donald Stockham and Richard and Shelley Bagenstos. Delamere Tarina Desert Hawk, bred by M&J Santiago and P. Jones, by champion Tarina Arctic Eagle and Vantage Red Wind of Delamere, owned by M&J Santiago and P. Jones. Summer Wind, the main event, bred by B&R Sutton and C. Petit, and in Eddington by champion Tarina Arctic Eagle, and Summer Wind Hard Act to Miss, owned by P&D Morgan and B&R Sutton. Kali Cloudburst, bred by Denise Schwebke and Sandra Fry, by champion Genesis Red Cloud and champion Storm Hills Centerfold, owned by R&D Schwebke. Sea Cove's Rowdy Games, bred by Ray and Reese Anderson, by champion Storm Hill's Domino Masquerade and champion Prima Donna's Mischief Maker, owned by Ray and Reese Anderson. Pamelon's Tuxedo, bred by Pamela and Lonnie Patterson, by champion Pamelon's Tusk of Camry and Camry's Snow Sprite, owned by Pamela and Lonnie Patterson. Selections were made out of the first group of open dogs, and another group was brought in. Talisman, bred by J&D DePuch and P&D Haynes, by Swiftwind Sensation and champion Timoka Shmatla, owned by D. Deptuk. Ginfield Jihad Desert Mirage, bred by B. Hurry J. Beard, by Ginfield Jihad Raja of Genesis and champion Ginfield Jihad Polan, owned by Jerry Bracewell. Storm Hills Entrepreneur, bred by Sandra and David Fry, by champion Pallavi Putting on the Ritz, and Fantastic of Storm Hill, owned by Claire Yates and Storm Hill Kennels. Omara's Pharaoh of Beluga, bred by Karen Erb and Kathy Lurson, by champion Coastwind Jubilant Osiris, and Dakasha's Nadia's Theme of Dawn, owned by Brian Burden, Karen Erb, and Kathy Lurson. Kenny Summer Sun, bred by Artie Davis, H. Navi, and El Guerrero, by champion Camry's Black and Tan Rebellion and champion Connie Summer Breeze, owned by Artie Evans, B. Lilos, and B. Richards. Llewellyn Masada, bred by Pamela Meyer, by champion Gold Mines, Black Eagle, and Princess Banana Royal, owned by Holly and Mark Nimitz. of Grandeur, bred by Roger Richler, by champion Sharp of Grandeur and Falou of Grandeur, owned by Roger Richler and Monica Broomfield.
No, I have.
Ginfield's Jihad Suleiman, bred by J. Beard and B. Hurry, by Greenhill Alouette of and Jihad's Ginfield Tendier, owned by B&C McKenzie. Foxfire's Ferrari of Caney, bred by Beverly Lelos and Artie Evans, by champion Camry's Blackertown Rebellion and champion Kenny Chimander Fair Genesis, owned by Jack and Dale Shane and B. Lelos and A. Evans.